Pia, over to you.
As you put it, we've seen some very interesting and fascinating fights in both Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana, but some stunning superlatives in particular from Haryana. And let's take our viewers through a couple of these. These are the biggest margins that we'll first take you through. In Firozpur Jirka, the Congress party has bagged 1,30,000 votes, winning by a margin of 98,441 votes from the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate. Next up in Garhi Sampla Kiloi, Bhupinder Hooda has captured 1,08,539 votes, winning by a margin of 71,465 votes from the Bharatiya Janata Party's candidate. But apart from this, in Gurgaon, another very interesting battle where we see a large margin of 68,445 votes. The BJP, of course, won the vote over here with 1,22,615 votes. Meanwhile, an independent candidate stood second with 54,570 votes in Gurgaon. But this is not all. There are several other constituencies that have seen these large margins. In Badshahpur, the Bharatiya Janata Party bagged 1,45,503 votes. The Congress came second with 84,789 votes, and the margin is 60,705 votes. Another interesting battle has been witnessed in Panipat rural, again won by the Bharatiya Janata Party, that bagged 1,01,079 votes. Of course, going far ahead by almost twice the amount of votes as compared to the Congress candidate over here. But this is not all. An interesting battle was also fought in Faridabad. Here again, the BJP winning this seat with 93,651 votes, as opposed to the Congress that came second with 45,263 votes, and the margin here is 48,388 seats. In Nuh, in particular, we see Aftab Ahmed of the Congress party bagging 91,833 votes, as opposed to the INLD candidate who bagged 44,870 votes, pitting the margin at 46,963 votes. In Pataudi, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been victorious with 98,519 votes, which is 46,530 more votes than the Congress party candidate, who ended up standing second. In Tigao, this also witnessed one of the biggest margins, with the Bharatiya Janata Party having bagged 94,229 votes, as opposed to an independent candidate who stood second with 56,828 votes, and the margin here was 37,401 votes. So these are, of course, some of the biggest margins we can see in Panipat city as well. Bharatiya Janata Party's Pramod Kumar Vij bagged 81,750 votes, which is 35,672 more than the Congress candidate, who ended up standing seconds. But we've taken a look at the biggest margins. Let's also take a look at some of the smallest margins. Here, of course, is Uchchana Kalan, which is seen. Look at this number over here. 32 votes. It just goes on to prove how valuable every single vote is in an election. The BJP bagged 48,968 votes, which was 32 more votes than that which was bagged by the Congress candidate. In Dabwali, the INLD has ended up winning this seat by a margin of 610 votes. It's, of course, soared ahead of the Congress party in this particular seat. This is not all. We've also seen some very close contests in Loharu in particular, where the Congress party has bagged 81,336 votes, as opposed to the BJP that bagged 80,544 votes. The margin, a measly 792. So, of course, we see the Congress party yet again edge ahead in Rohtak. Now, this is, of course, a constituency where the final round of votes are being tallied. As of now, the Congress party is leading. These are results till 5:30 p.m. that we're showing, leading by a margin of 1,341 votes. This, of course, the BJP is currently in the second position over here. There's, of course, a little time left, and whether the BJP will be able to forge ahead remains to be seen. But in Adhampur, we see something very, very similar. Here itself, the votes have not been tallied till now. The Congress party has taken the lead with 64,955 votes. The BJP's Bhavya Bishnoi standing second with 63,685 votes, and the margin is a mere 1,613 votes. These is, of course, data till 5:30 p.m. That we are reporting up until now. But there are some other constituencies that have seen close battles where the result has been declared. One of them is Sadhaura, where the Congress party has ended up winning this seat by a margin of a mere 1,699 votes. The BJP again standing second in this particular seat. In Dadri, we again see this time the Bharatiya Janata Party having won this seat by a margin of 1,957 votes, with its candidate bagging 65,568 votes, as opposed to the Congress party that has fallen short by a mere 1,957 votes in this particular seat. These are some of the closest battles that have been fought, that attest to the fact that every single vote is very, very precious for these candidates. Another key battle, Panchkula, two very big faces over here. Chandar Mohan has bagged 67,397 votes, as opposed to Gyan Chand Gupta of the Bharatiya Janata Party, who has ended up securing 65,400 votes. The margin, of course, 1,997. Another very, very close call is in Pundri, where the Bharatiya Janata Party has ended up winning this seat, as opposed to an independent candidate who stood second by a margin of 2,197 votes. So we've seen the superlatives as far as the largest vote margins and the smallest margins are concerned. Haryana, of course, has witnessed some very, very interesting fights, but that is not all. We've seen some very interesting battles in Jammu and Kashmir as well. Back to you, Vineet, for a very riveting discussion with our guests.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.